Alright guys, so welcome to another video, and the Sequoia is finally done. So I'm not even gonna tell you the freaking war that I had to go to just to finish this. Day is, I'll tell you right now actually, so that you guys understand how long this process has been. It's Friday the 27th, and I was supposed to finish this last weekend, but I didn't due to some problems. And I was supposed to finish this thing yesterday, but the top hat that I bought did not have the rubber gasket on the bottom, and there's no website that'll be like 1-day shipping. So I literally had to buy some knockoff freaking complete struts, because I called Toyota and I was like, hey, how much would it be to get just the top hat for one? They said $132. I said nope. So I bought that set. It was like $100 off of Amazon. I literally took it apart, just used the top hat, and it's perfect. You guys see this freaking view, dude? Anyways, we're at Antelope Island. All right, so let's talk about the lift and how much of a pain it was to literally install this thing. If you guys didn't see the last video, you guys are gonna see how bad I hated rust and how it took me like 3 weeks just to put on the front lift, and then I had to wait for parts and all that stuff. So if you guys wanna see that video, I'll link it down below or somewhere up here in the cards on the side. Now that it's done, it looks amazing. And I wanted to talk more a little bit of the setup and the suspension. I guess this can be like a walk around tour of the first stage that I have this Tundra built. So let's start off with the front. So the front is actually a different pair of shock compared to what I have in the back. The front are Bilstein 5100s. They're at the highest clip. End up putting the Dobinsons springs in the front because there's whole complications. So I'm probably going to be doing that once I upgrade again in the future. So I have literally the springs in my garage right now. So they're Bilstein 5100s with the stock springs, and I didn't do a body mount chop at all. I didn't cut any of the plastic. A lot of people say that you need an upper control arm. From the research that I've done and from this video from this dude that I watched, you don't really need a upper control arm. And if you do, then watch that video, because that guy is super smart and he did so many scientific like things in order to actually have some data about upper control arms. And the tires that I have is the Milestar Patagonia XTs. They are the 295/70/17, which is equivalent to, I believe, a 34 to 34.5 inch tire. The crazy part about it is that there's no rubbing. If I'm doing normal stuff, right, if I'm making a left turn, right turn, if I'm backing up, the only time it does rub is when I'm backing up into my driveway and I have to go up onto the driveway. When the car dips down, like the front, then that's when it rubs. But if you're on flat ground, U-turns, all that stuff, dude, there's like no rubbing at all. Am I gonna do a body mount chop in the future? Maybe I am, because I'm gonna be going off-roading a little bit more over the summer, and I don't want to be, you know, trying to bust a U-turn or something and then I'm hitting rocks and the bumpy roads and then pop a tire. So I don't want to do that. I'm probably going to do a bumper cut in the future too, but as of right now, I'm not going to be doing any heavy off-roading, so I'm probably not going to do it. Eventually, stage 2 of this build later on is going to be a front bumper, but for right now, I think this looks good. So I think the biggest thing why the front isn't rubbing at all is because of the wheels and the offset, which brings me into this week's video sponsor, Rocktrix. So Rocktrix is a wheel company that makes wheels for their ATVs, UTVs, for the big brother trucks like them dualies, and for your normal street trucks and SUVs, and light overlanding. They also make beadlock wheels for you heavy off-roaders out there. And at the time of this recording, a bunch of their wheels are on sale, so grab them while you can. If you want to check any of that out and support the channel, use the link and the discount code down below. So the wheels that I got were the Rocktrix RT115s. They're the 17/9 with the -12 offset, which is about a 4.5 inch offset from the center. And I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of what is a negative offset, a positive offset. So I will link down a video of the same guy that talks about the upper control arms He literally puts 37s on the Tundra with no cutting or anything like that, just because of the wheel offset. So he can explain it, and he knows more than me. So I'll link that down below if you guys want to check it out. And that -12 offset gives more space in the inside of the wheel if you want to put bigger brakes, which a lot of people upgrade the brakes on these. So it gives you that room so you don't have to worry about the back of the wheel scraping your brake calipers. So now let's talk about the back. So I didn't go with the Bilstein shock. I went with the Dobinson one, and I'll put it on this side of the screen. I forgot which one I picked. These ones were at a really good price, and I got them off of First Gen Off-Road, and they shipped them pretty quick. And then the spring that's in the back is a 1.75 inch lift from Dobinsons also, and I'll put the part numbers on screen if you guys are wondering what it is. The wheel and tire combo in the back, the 34 inch, 34 and a half, you know, I'm just gonna say 35 inch, you know. It looks super dope, and I think this is like, this is my opinion, I think this is one of the best setups that you can get. This is a wheel that's -12 offset, size 17 with 34 inch tires, because it kind of fits perfectly in this like wheel well area. It just fills it up pretty nice. And the Sequoia is big, so it doesn't look like a buff dude with like SpongeBob legs or something. So there it is. This is stage one of the Sequoia build, and honestly I think this thing looks perfect. I might be biased because it's my vehicle, but just in general I feel like the Sequoia with a nice lift, great looking wheels, and a nice beefy tire just makes this thing look super good. The Bilstein 5100s in the front and the Dobinson shocks in the back make this thing drive like a dream. And if you guys are wondering, the MPGs that I'm getting from this setup is around 15.5 to 16 miles per gallon, which I haven't done the calculations yet, like official calculations, but that's what it says on the top where it shares your MPGs. So I think that's pretty good for this setup. My old 4Runner, that was also a V8, I had 35 inch tires, but I also had like a full-on like camping setup in the back, and that got me like 10 to 12 miles per gallon. So this with no third row seating, I actually took them out, and nothing in the back, no spare tire. This setup right now is, I guess it's empty, and yeah, 15.6 miles per gallon. I think that's pretty good for an SUV of this size. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about the wheels, tires, the suspension, comment down below. And if you have a Sequoia, what's your lift? What did you put? Do you like 33s or do you go with 35s? Or are you one of those crazy people that are just like, you know what, I'm just gonna put 37s on this thing. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.